Hey there. Welcome to the Literary Escape Podcast. I'm your host, Becky, and I'm glad you're here today. So for the month of December, I am giving you a season of holiday books. Each episode is going to feature a different author, a different book, but this episode is special because I'm giving you 6 of my favorites. So let's dive in. Welcome back to the Literary Escapes Podcast. I am Becky, and I am thrilled that you're here with me today. Today, I am doing what I'm hoping is going to become an annual tradition. This is number 2. I started this last year where I do a list of 6 holiday escapes for you, books that take you around the world during the holiday season. And so in the show notes, I have last year's linked there for you. And so you can see the books that I chose for last year. Last year, the escapes went to London, Sweden, Virginia, Massachusetts, the UK, Scotland, and then out in the countryside of the UK and Switzerland. So lots of fun escapes there and lots of different genres, which is, I like to throw a bunch of different types of books at you because I know not everybody enjoys the exact same thing. So this year, I have us going also around the world. We are going to the Caribbean, to Ireland, a few different places in the United States, and Germany. So, should be a lot of fun. So, let's dive in and see which escapes I've got for you this year. So, book number 1 is called Christmas at Fireside Cabins, and this is by author Jenny Hale. This is a straight up holiday romance, and it is set in the United States in Tennessee. So, here's the blurb on this one. Christmas is always tough for Lila Evans. Instead of being with her loved ones, she's all alone and reminded of the heartbreaking time when she lost her father. It's no wonder that this year Lila's escaping Nashville. She's in search of a home away from home, and the countryside retreat of Fireside Cabins sounds like the perfect place. But it turns out that Pinewood Hills, tucked in the snow-topped Tennessee mountains, doesn't offer her much of a small town welcome. Stopping at the local coffee shop for a much needed peppermint latte, the rugged, surly owner, Theo Perry, gives her an icy reception that even his piercing blue eyes can't melt. Unfortunately, you can't avoid anyone in this quaint village, which means that Lila bumps into him everywhere. To her surprise, on the rare occasion he does smile, it feels like sunshine on a cold winter's day. It feels like coming home. So Lila makes it her mission to warm up frosty Theo, even if that does feel like she's hoping for a Christmas miracle. With nothing and no one waiting for her back in Nashville, could Pinewood Hills give Lila the ultimate Christmas gift, the family she's always longed for? And with a dusting of festive magic, spice cider, and sugar plum pie, could this be the first holiday she's not alone? So, that sounds like a fun and perfect holiday escape into the Tennessee mountains. Jenny Hale is joining us in the book club, in the Literary Escape Book Club at the beginning of the year. So if you would like to meet Jenny Hale with a different one of her books, then come join us in the book club. This one is called Christmas at Fireside Cabins, and again by Jenny Hale. So book number 1 took us to Tennessee. Book number 2 is called The Christmas Murder Game, and it's by Alexandra Benedict. This one is a holiday murder mystery. It is, I guess, kind of a detective suspense type book set in the countryside of England. And here's the blurb on this one. The annual Christmas game is afoot at Endgame House, the Armitages' grand family home. This year's prize is to die for, deeds to the house itself. But Lily Armitage has no intention of returning. She hasn't been back to Endgame since her mother died 21 years ago, and she has no intention of claiming the house that haunts her dreams. Until, that is, she receives a letter from her aunt promising that the game's riddles will give her the keys not only to Endgame, but to its darkest secrets, including the identity of her mother's murderer. Now Lily must compete with her estranged cousins for the 12 days of Christmas. The snow is thick, the phone lines are down, and no one is getting in or out. Lily will have to keep her wits about her because not everyone is playing fair. And there's no telling how many will die before the winner is declared. If you're a fan of movies like Knives Out or Clues, then you'll probably very much enjoy this one. And as a extra bonus for you, if you enjoy clues and mysteries, that kind of thing, this one has an additional scavenger hunt for the readers. And so something that you can do outside of the book. So that one is The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict. Book number 3 is taking us to Ireland. This one is called Christmas in the Little Irish Village. This one is by Michelle Vernal. This one is a holiday romance. And here's the blurb on this one. 34-year-old Shannon is heartbroken following an unexpected breakup. Seasonal joy is the last thing on her mind, as she wonders if she'll ever find the kind of long lasting love she's always dreamed of. Even the comforting distractions of her big Irish family can't cheer her up. Then things get even worse when Shannon slips over on the ice and finds herself red faced in the arms of a gorgeous American man. Despite the embarrassing encounter, Shannon can't help wondering who the handsome stranger is. She soon finds out when James Cabot takes a room at the Shamrock Inn. Their second meeting is equally disastrous when she gives James the tour without realizing her skirt is tucked into her knickers. Shannon isn't sure how she's going to survive living under the same roof when she has such a talent for making a complete Egypt of herself, and resolves to avoid the new guest at all costs. But when Shannon discovers James is in Ireland because he's claiming to be the long lost grandson of her elderly neighbor, Maeve Doolin, she is immediately suspicious. Shannon has known Maeve since she was a little girl and feels protective of her, so she's determined to find out the truth, even if it means spending more time with James. The two of them ending up getting closer than she bargained for when they take a tour of Emerald Bay and end up snowed in together. But just as James begins to make Shannon's heart melt with his cheeky grin and awful carol singing, a shocking secret threatens to shatter the growing romance between them. Can Shannon trust James? And will she get the happily ever after she's been hoping for this Christmas? You'll have to read it to find out. So, if you'd like a holiday escape to Ireland, then I recommend you check out Christmas in the Little Irish Village by Michelle Vernal. Book number 4 is going to take us to the Caribbean, specifically on a cruise ship. This one is called Overboard at Christmas by Wendy Nugent. It's a cozy mystery. And so here's the blurb on this one. The holidays are a little different at sea. Haley and Olivia are happy to trade a white Christmas for the white sand beaches. Snorkeling in the warm waters of the Caribbean is a pretty spectacular way to spend the holidays. But it isn't a typical Christmas. Instead of time off for the holiday, Olivia has to take part in an extra Christmas themed show. Instead of celebrating with family, Olivia is faced with her first Christmas working on the cruise ship alone. But she isn't alone for long. A surprise visitor shakes up her plans, and a thief is on the loose on the ship. Can Olivia and her adorable parrot Chico save Christmas? So take a read of Overboard at Christmas if you'd like to escape to the white sandy beaches of the Caribbean. So, book number 5 is the companion book for the book club this month. I've chosen 2 holiday books for the month, sticking with the holiday theme. And this one is a true story. It is called The 13th Gift by Joanne Hust Smith. And so let me read you about this one. It's one of my favorite stories. After the unexpected death of her husband, Joanne Hust Smith had no idea how she would keep herself together and be strong for her 3 children, especially with the holiday season approaching. But 12 days before Christmas, presents began appearing on her doorstep with notes from, quote, true friends, unquote. As the Smiths came together to solve the mystery of who the gifts were from, they begin to thaw out from their grief and come together as a family again. This true story about the power of random acts of kindness will warm your heart, a beautiful reminder of the miracles of Christmas and the gift of family during the holidays. So, this one, like I said, this is one of my favorite stories. It's just another one of those that if you need a reminder that humankind can be kind, then this is definitely a book for you. If you have a hard time making it through the holidays, this one might be a good one for you. And if you have a little extra love in you to give to others, this one might be a good one for you and might give you some ideas on how to spend that extra love. So, the last book I have for you today is set in Germany, and it's called Finding Love at the Christmas Market by author Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas will be joining us in the book club this month in December. And so, if you would like to join us, just click on the show notes, and there'll be a link in there for you to come join us and to meet author Joe Thomas. Here's the blurb on this book. Residential home caterer Connie has had one online disaster too many. Hurt in the past and with her son to consider, she's now feeling hesitant. Then one of Connie's residents sets her up on a date at a beautiful German Christmas market with the promise that she'll take a minibus full of pensioners along with her. Amongst the twinkling lights and the smell of warm gingerbread in the old market square, Connie heads off on her date with a checklist of potential partner must-haves. Baker Heinrich ticks all the boxes, but when Connie meets Heinrich's rival, William, she starts to wonder if ticking boxes is the answer. Will Connie's wish for love this Christmas come true? And if so, with who? So, if you would like to escape to the gorgeous Christmas markets in Germany, then I recommend highly grabbing Finding Love at the Christmas Market by Joe Thomas. And like I said, if you'd like to meet the author, then come join us over in the book club. She's going to be joining us on December 15th, and I'm looking forward to chatting with her. So that is it for this year. If you have any suggestions of other holiday books that you've loved this season, then leave me a note. I'd love to hear it. And maybe it'll make my list next year. So have a fabulous holiday season. And like I said, stick around for the rest of the month and check out all the authors that I'm going to be bringing you and their holiday books. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining me today on the Literary Escapes podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode and maybe would like some more Literary Escape book recommendations, then come check out the Literary Escape Society. We're a community of travelers who love books, or maybe book lovers who love to travel. Either way, if you need an escape, a literary escape, come join us as we read our way around the world together, one book at a time. Check out the show notes to learn more about the Literary Escape Society. And we'll see you next time on the next episode.